So I received this video from 2mbili last night. Okay, early this morning when I woke up at around 5 or 4, I think.
Hii ni damage kama ya tatu nilifanyia kana nimenyamaza.
And this is a number of physical abuses that have been happening in his life for a while now. It's been a long while now. And just to show you that I've had this information for a while, 2mbili's kids used to come here for sleepover and they used to have conversations with my kids. So one day, I normally sit with my kids at the dining table when we're eating dinner and we just talk about how their day was and we catch up. And one of these conversations, when I was recording for their channel, but I didn't post on their channel, my son told me what he had been told with 2mbili's kids. So this is what 2mbili's kids have seen. Remember, they are 4 years. How old are they? 3 years, 4 years. Flower is 4.
6 and 3 and 2.
And 6. One is 6, one is 4, the other one is 2. So they've seen this happening and they normally have these conversations with my kids when I'm not around. So my kids have the whole down, like they've been told a lot. They've told me a lot of things also offline and I've never shared. So this is one of those videos that my son told me. Ati unasema?
Then Flower kaniambia.
Anza nayo story nyingine kwanza.
Ati mama Flower alikuwa anataka kudunga kwa 2mbili na kisu na kumgonga na glass. Kwa 2mbili akamsukuma ndio asimdunge na mgongo.
So hiyo story yenyu ilianza aje?
Alienda nikamwambia mnachapangwa. Akasema na mama yetu. Tena akaanza kusema pia mama yetu ashaitaka kudunga babako na anko na baba yao sasa anko 2mbili. Nikaanza hivyo.
So having seen that, clearly the guy has been in an abusive relationship for a while now with his baby mama. I've tried to get him to talk about it on toxic girlfriends or on baby mama drama. He didn't want to. And I've gone to the hospital a couple of times to get him out of there after he's been physically assaulted a couple of times. We've gone to look for the kids a couple of places when she decides to bail with the kids and the kids miss school for about a term plus. And I've housed the kids here for a while when they were sick, and we've taken them to hospital. They've recovered, then the whole thing happens again. So this video is about toxic relationships. So watch till the end. But I'm sure in the comment section below, you'll see a couple of people who are also a bit, for a lack of a better word, dumb, because they'll not see it for what it is, but it is fine. I've been a punching bag for a while now, and I'm totally comfortable with it. If it makes you feel at peace, say whatever you may, but kindly watch this video till the end and understand that this might be your brother, your cousin, your dad, your husband, or your son. Okay? So watch with an open mind, and I hope you get to learn something. And the reason I'm just doing this video is that in case anything happens, I've tried. There's another video I think I sent to 2mbili. I think if I find it, I'll put it here. A while ago, where I was telling him, listen, I'm out of this. If anything happens, I'm not the one to blame. Because trust me, I've tried. But yeah, that's it. So I've I've decided to record this video to teach you guys something. It's not a sympathy video, it is not an expose, but I asked 2mbili if I can post the story. He told me it's okay. And to say many more, it's not my part to say much more about it. I'm currently even sick, I'm even shaking, and I just had to do the video for everybody, so at least we can be kind to each other. Yeah, that's it. When is today? 16th?
Today is
16th or 17th November. Sawa. So we're recording this video just for future. We're recording in the future. So I'll show 2mbili this video in a while. I don't know how long it will take, but I will show him. So she's tried to kill you a couple of times. I've spoken to you. First, mmekataa kwenda kwa ofisi ya counseling ya gender based violence. Second, police will report mpaka sasa hawajamtafuta, hawajafanya anything. Na pia wewe amesharudi Kitengela, hujambia wa polisi ndio huyu amerudi. Wamshike, wampeleke kwa police station, muongee, muelewane. Yeye anajifanya amerudi, mumeona? Mimi nimefanya my part.
Mnaangalia marehemu sasa hivi akiwa.
Hakuna kitu kama marehemu hapo, zima hiyo kitu. But she'll just go back to behave the way she was. She'll become physical again. Tayari ashaanza kukutukana. It's coming. Brace for impact. So hii video sitaipost, sitaifanya anywhere, iko tu hapa kwa simu. Nitaonyesha 2mbili in 1 month's time or less. Ndio huyu ananiambia unajua haya.
But sipendi vile wangu una imitate vile mimi huongea.
Ongea hivyo.
Wala nini?
Unajua mzee bro. Kuna sinema hiyo.
Okay, sometimes you lack speech.
Ndio hiyo. Ngoja utaona wewe. Mambo. Tuko chonjo. Haya. Mimi nimemleta Serena for lunch. Akuja kule lunch kidogo. Naingia hapa Serena kidogo. Kule the last supper. Huyu ni maiti huyu. Jamaa amekataa kukufa huyu.
Marehemu aliwahi kula Serena.
Wanasema why Obinna you are his friend, why didn't you help him, why didn't you what? Ndio huyu wako hapa. Tumengangana, tumemenyana mpaka mimi nimemwambia for now nimenawa mkono. Aki 2mbili asaidiki.
Kitu mimi Mungu alifanya makosa kunipea ni huruma.
Hakuna kitu kama huruma bro. Inafikanga point unasema, "Niaje baba? Niweke juu, niweke chini."
Okay, yani parking ya wenzetu iko hapo. Anaweza kutuonyesha kwa watu wa nini? Pick and drop. Ni machine kubwa.
Yeah. So 2mbili mimi nimengangana naye. Advice hasikii. So imefika mahali niko zile za isoke. Saka kasonge. Penye itafika tunashukuru Mungu, tunaendelea. Just so you know, I hope that this video is gonna change your perspective, the way you think and the way you react online to people. A lot of these people that you see online, the content creators, the comedians, the musicians, the dancers, actors, even the slay queens, and all the cloud chasers you see, a lot of people are going through a lot of situations that you might not know about. So before you decide to insult someone on social media, ask yourself, if you would have their life, what would you do? Because they go through a lot so they can keep you entertained. They shoot a lot of content, they do a lot of music and dances and the situations they do online, or they just create content for you, but they're empty and they're hurting inside. A lot of the most broken people are the people that you see in the public forum. The personalities, from the celebrities to everybody. Those people are so broken. If you would have them in your corner, you'd understand. Very few people know why I took 2mbili to my corner. Initially, I just used to go to his shows when he used to be at UON. And I would go watch. If it's a ticket, I would buy it. And then I also realized he was quite funny. And one time when you are coming from Narok, I remember I was driving S500. Jalas was sleeping at the back seat. 2mbili was seated shotgun. I was driving. And we just started talking about relationship and everything. And 2mbili opened up about what he was going through. That was the day that I took him to my corner. Maybe one day he'll get to talk about it. But our big bro was sleeping in the back seat. We had an event in Narok with him, and 2mbili came with a motorbike all the way to Narok. Story for another day. And he also heard what we were talking about, and he just got up and he gave us a couple of encouraging words and everything. And since that day, I decided never to let 2mbili out of my corner. So I decided to groom him, nurture him, support him, you know, be there for him, try and get him some jobs, get some money, change where he lived, move to a better house, try and take the kids to a better school, try and make him a better father and a better human being and everything. That is the time when I started to do a lot of these things. And I knew he was broken because what he said, most of the things he said, I was going through them then, and I didn't have anybody to talk to or to share with. And when we shared with him, I realized this is me, and where he is now, I was there. So I decided to give him a helping hand. And since that day, I've just been a constant figure in his life, and I've tried to help where I can. We've tried to sort issues amicably. I took him to the police station. I asked the wife to also go to the police station. I have all the records, by the way. Any issue that I normally have involved people, I always keep evidence because I know things normally get switched very fast. So the conversation we had with him and the baby mama, I have the whole recording. I can play it if need be. And since then, I've always been trying to, you know. And now the problem with that is his shit became my shit. Every situation he's been through, because he'll come here, he'll sleep on this couch for a couple of days until things cool off. I even remember about a week ago, I told him, listen, I'm not comfortable you sleeping at my place instead of facing your problems. And maybe it was a mistake because even before this problem happened, last night, he came with the kids. He texted me earlier on, he was like, are you home, Anna? Bring the kids to see the other kids. I was like, I'm not home, but he brought them. I came back, found them here. We ate, then they left. And now when he left is now when the whole situation came. And sometimes you just get to think, when is it enough? Is it gonna be enough? And when does it stop? How does it stop? Does it stop with someone losing their life? Does it stop with, I don't know, because the guy has gotten serious beating. Don't see him laughing and smiling and trying to cheer you guys out. Trust me, he's been through it. I know, because I'm normally the offloading base. So that's why I've done the video. So watch the video and maybe you get to learn something. So I've been thinking a lot before I made this post or even did this video. I do a couple of shows on my platforms, and all the shows I do, they are normally meant to empower the next generation one way or another. So there's a particular show I do called Toxic Boyfriends, and I introduce another one called Toxic Girlfriends, where now people talk about the toxic relationships they've been in. The purpose for this show is to make people learn from other people's mistakes and see red flags so we get to save lives. So it spun out into different directions, which is fine. You know how people take in information is different from person to person. It's normally based on how knowledgeable or how open-minded they are or how exposed they are. Okay. Even this particular post I've made, different people are gonna take it differently. But what I've come to realize is we are raising a lost generation. We are raising people who don't know what to do or what is right. So we were raised, and we also raise our children being told, don't lay a hand on a woman. But who is telling the woman, don't lay a hand on a man? I don't advocate for violence. I don't like it. I don't support it. I speak against it. Violence of any kind to any person, be it a woman, be it a man. And all the time we keep talking to our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. We're like, oh, boys, don't lay a hand on a woman, it's very bad, which is true. But nobody talks to our daughters and our sisters and our mothers and tell them, don't lay a hand on a man or on a boy. That is bad, because we're all human beings. And they always say for a reaction, there's an equal. So I always say all the time, don't do it. And I try and talk to my boy and tell him not to do it. And I also talk to my girls and I tell them not to do it. But I've come to realize that nobody's talking to the general public. Nobody's talking to girls in general. We have a lot of people who are in toxic, abusive relationships, from boys to girls. And most of the time, when it's a boy towards a girl, the reaction is different than if it's to a girl towards a boy. If a boy talks to you and tells you he's been physically, emotionally, spiritually assaulted or abused by a lady, the first reaction for men is normally to laugh at the guy who's talking, you know. Utafanyiwaje na msichana hivi? How can a woman do this to you? We never have a safe space to talk, you see. But we all know that a lot of boys go through a lot of situations and they feel a lot of pain and they have nobody to talk to. So this video here is to talk to every other lady out there, every other girl. You see that boy you're laughing at, or that boy you are abusing, or that boy that you're just, you know, not respecting, is someone's son, is someone's brother, is someone's father, is someone's cousin, someone's nephew, and it might as well be your child later. It might be your son, you never know. So you'll be abusive to someone now, thinking, oh, you know, I'm just trying to teach this guy a lesson or anything, because nothing is gonna be done, because it's very clear there's nobody that is protecting Boychild. So you think it's just gonna go scot-free, but that might as well be your son or your brother or your cousin or your father, you see. So let's try and be mindful of others. Let's try and be mindful of each other. The boys equally to ladies, ladies equally to the boys. Let's try and make the world an accommodative place. I'm not talking like I'm perfect. I've had my ups and downs. And now the thing that really breaks my heart is the number of men who are in my inbox. When I have my situations and I'm being insulted in public platforms for one reason or another, and I have a lot of men who come to my DM telling me, oh bro, I'm going through a similar thing, man. Bro, Maze, how do I go through this? Bro, I'm in depression. Bro, I'm stressed. Bro, I have nobody to talk to. All these men, they can't come in the public forum, but they come in private. And I'm broken by the number of men that go through all this. Like, we have a huge number of men whose mental space is not well, and they have nobody to talk to, because they're afraid of the stigma and the backlash and ile kukejeli watakejeliwa when they talk about it. From celebrities to CEOs to pastors to school-going kids and everything. Like, we have a generation that is lost because nobody's looking at the boy child. And now in the near future, what's gonna happen is every boy child is gonna be harboring a lot of pain and hurt in them, and then at one point it will explode, and we should not be waiting for that. What we should do is we need to start accommodating them more. For you who's listening, talk to your brother, talk to your husband, talk to your boyfriend, talk to your son, talk to your dad, talk to your cousin, talk to your nephew. Just let them know that we are together. Tell them, bro, talk to me, man, what's happening, what's going on. Even at the workplaces, we have a lot of men who are being sexually assaulted at the workplaces, at their home places, with their friends, and they can't say it because they fear the stigma. And as men, we just keep insulting each other, and I don't know where this notion came from, where all of us like saying, oh, uko na umama sana nini. I don't know what makes you feel like being called umama is an insult. Like, they're the greatest beings that have been there. Like, they're the hardest people. Do you know how painful it is to give birth, how to hold a baby for 9 months and all that? And we always feel like when you tell each other that, like, now you're demoralizing the other person, you're making them feel bad. And you feel very good about yourself as a man when you're putting down another man. And you're forgetting that today is for me, tomorrow is for you. The reason why I've done this video, I've wanted to do this video for over a year now. I've been through situations with women. My friends have been through situations with women. And the current situation that has made me do this video, there's a friend of mine who is about to lose his life, and he keeps taking it for granted. Like, the situations that I've been there, I've seen, have been so painful, heartbreaking, and there's nothing to be done because there's nobody, like I said, that protects Boychild. Like, is there a feeder for men? And if it's there, they're doing a very poor job at whatever they're doing because nobody knows who to talk to. We've gone to the police. Clearly, they didn't do anything about it. We've gone to a gender-based violence office. Clearly, they didn't do nothing about it. We've spoken to a couple of friends, did do nothing about it. And the guy in particular, his life is in danger. And when anything happens, everybody's gonna come out and say, oh, why didn't Obinna do something? Obinna was his friend. Obinna didn't do nothing. And one thing we forget is that I can only do so much. Sometimes you try, but also watu wawili wenye wamelala blanketi moja is normally a little bit difficult to come in between. And I've tried to talk to both of them. I've tried to support where I can. I've seen the abuse that has been there, both emotionally, physically, spiritually. I've seen the abuse that I've been to the children. I've housed the children in my house for over a month or so, recovering. We've taken them to the hospital. The lady has tried to kill the guy a couple of times. The most latest one was last night. And it will keep happening until something gives. And if something happens, it's gonna be Obinna didn't do this, Obinna didn't do that. So I'm just doing this video to try and preach peace and happiness, and just tell people there is no relationship that is worth the amount of abuse. The minute either the man or the woman raises a hand on you the first time, you better leave. Even if it's just an insult, trust me, you don't want to stay there, because they slap you today, you don't react. Tomorrow they do it again. The other day they do it again, and it keeps progressing and it keeps progressing. So there's a lot that I can't say in this video because it's not my place to say it. But I was just doing this video just to let us know that personally I've tried as much as I can, and there's nothing much more I can do from here because it's not my part. Okay? I've tried my best, so I think I'll just leave it at that. And let's hope everything works out. I keep saying hope is not a strategy, but yeah, it is what it is. But we need to find a body that will protect Boychild. I'm trying to come up with a team. So if you know anybody or you are somebody who wants to chip in one way or another, we need to register a body that will protect Boychild. We need to start having seminars to talk to Boychild on how to stand up for their rights as well, and where to go to and who to talk to when things happen, so they can just feel safe, they can feel protected, and they can feel loved. We out. Yeah, so I've forgotten to say, so if you are anybody who wants to chip into that, just email me, tvobin@gmail.com, and let's see what we can do together. If we come together, at least we can start raising better generation, because with the current trajectory of things that are happening, we're gonna be raising very weak fathers, brothers, uncles, grandparents, cousins, nephews. Yeah, people who are broken, people who are not going to try and help lead the society to a better direction. Yeah, that's it. So email me. Let's do something about it. There's power in numbers. Let's come together. Let's try and even register a body to try and protect the best interest of a child, of a boy child.